All right, we're live. Keep it 1 million show. I'm Dwayne.
What up? What up? Sean Page.
Sean. KRDP Radio 90.7 FM, or go online to listen to number 2, krdp.com. What happened? Hey, we're live. Keep 1 million show. We're back. We are going to be talking NBA playoffs. Getting into the Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia fight. Talking about what happened with Draymond Green, and now with Joel Embiid. Is Joel Embiid going to get suspended for that kick, since Draymond Green got suspended for his kick of Sabonis? Joel Embiid kicked Miguel Bridges. They're actually ex-teammates, right, Sean?
Nah, they Sixers just drafted.
They drafted him and they traded him in the draft during the draft. Instead of keeping him coming right straight out of Villanova.
Yeah.
So, absolutely right. And on this. Oh, snap. He didn't. Damn it. Hey, can you bring Kaja number? He forgot to do. I forgot to do that.
Hey, what's going on? Because he's in the middle of orientation.
Oh, he is? Okay, never mind then.
Don't worry about it.
So you okay?
Yeah, he said he good.
Okay. Hey, come on, all right? We're gonna come on right now.
All right.
Okay, we're live. I'm Dwayne,
Sean Page.
and this is the Keep 1 Million show.
Yes, sir.
And we're talking NBA draft. NBA playoffs. And the 76ers just beat Brooklyn Nets 102-97
Oh, okay. All right.
to go up 3-0, and from what it looks in that game, it was a very chippy game.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid kicks Miguel Bridges, and he didn't get ejected. He got a flagrant one. He didn't get ejected. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get ejected from what just happened in the last game with Golden State and Sacramento, where Draymond Green steps on Sabonis.
Stomped.
Yeah, right. And he's suspended for game 3. People are debating, is this playoff basketball? Is this being overly aggressive? What are your thoughts about it, Sean?
It's not. To me, it's not playoff basketball. It's like, all right, for example, that's a bonus and Draymond play. That wasn't a basketball play. So Bonus literally grabbed his ankle. If you look at it, he twisted it too. So Draymond, literally, if you look at it in slow motion, when Draymond lifted his foot up, he lifted Sabonis up off the ground. That's how tight he had it. So Draymond was more like, I wish I could. If y'all on YouTube, y'all can see my foot move. He more was like, get off me, like that. Now, did he deserve to get ejected? Yes. I didn't think he deserved a suspension. Now, B is touchy. Like, you have to know that Draymond just got suspended. This is silly. He just got suspended. That you are very important to the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid. So, if you get suspended, it might not be a sweep. It might be a gentleman's sweep going back to Philly. So, and you had to know that Brooklyn was going to come out chippy. They're in Brooklyn. They're going to come out chippy. You had to know that. Well, what's the point, man? Just ball out.
Yeah, and it seems like the main thing is his frustration. He only had 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Maxey had 25 points.
Okay, you had a bad game.
And Harden with 21 points. Harris with 15 in the game. For Brooklyn, Bridges with 26 points. Dinwiddie with 20 points.
Yeah.
Claxton with 18 and Johnson with 17.
Yeah.
So it seems like Brooklyn was getting to his head, and he had to retaliate any way he could, especially going down there in the lane and whatnot. He's the front runner for the MVP, and I'm going to talk about the awards that have just came. Some of the awards have just been announced in this past few days. We're going to talk about that a little later. But in the next game, we have Warriors-Kings. Like I said, Warriors without Draymond Green for this game. They're in Golden State. And the Suns and Clippers. Mm-hmm. The Clippers are without Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has a knee injury that he's been, I guess, nursing for quite some time. He's basically Mr. Load Management, and he's going to be day to day. Most likely, he'll be back for Game 4 because if they are without him and Paul George, they lose the series. They can't sustain that much.
Paul George not playing either.
He's not playing at all. He may not play. If they get out of this round, he may play the next round.
Okay.
So
is it fair to we can't call him playoff? We can't call him playoff Paul and playoff P anymore, can we?
He was never playoff P. Okay, he was never playoff P. That was in his own mind, right? But these NBA playoffs has been a bit of surprise, mainly because of Sacramento Kings giving it to the Warriors. They're up 2-0 on the Warriors, and I think that was, the Draymond Green stomp and all that. That was a bit of a frustration because they were basically playing the Warriors' game, beating them to their own game. Great defense, very fast, fast-paced, faster than the Warriors. They're younger than the Warriors.
Yes.
De'Aaron Fox is now turning into a superstar.
Yes.
Now people are seeing him on national TV. This team hasn't been in the playoffs since those Chris Webber days. Back in was it '05, and do you think if they beat the Warriors that Sacramento can do a Cinderella run?
They are the number 2 seed, correct?
Yes.
Number 2 seed. So I wouldn't call it Cinderella. I mean, they're number 2 seed. That means they should be technically they should be somewhat of a favorite. So I'm not gonna say Cinderella. I can see them going deep. I can see them beat especially if they win this game, beating Golden State. That means they would play whoever won whoever would they play? They would play the 4 or 5.
The Clippers or the Suns.
They played the 3-6. So whoever won that. So I can see them going deep. They coach. They're a really well coached team. Mike Brown is really coaching them up. He deserves Coach of the Year.
He is. He has one of the awards that are
We'll
given
talk
out.
about it later.
No, I'm saying right now, Mike Brown did win Coach of the Year, his second Coach of the Year of his career. His first was when he was with Cleveland coaching LeBron James.
Oh, okay.
Back in those
I stand
years.
corrected. I didn't think he won Coach of the Year back then. Okay.
Right, and another series that's very, very interesting is the Grizzlies-Lakers series.
Memphis is one of my favorites.
You see Memphis beat the Lakers
Mm-hmm.
in that last game, and it was 103-93, and Dylan Brooks is coming after LeBron James. I mean, he basically said, he basically was saying that he's too old, things of that nature. They're throwing the WWE thing at Dylan Brooks as he's the bad guy, whatnot.
So he's playing the hill. Okay.
Right, and it's kind of funny because he's actually like in that, he has those type of clothes with the dark shades and all that, and his responses are just, I mean, they're amazing responses to these questions, and it's funny that some people are really annoyed by it. They really can't stand him because how he acts. But yeah, it's really, it looks like it's an act, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He has one game he's dressed like the Undertaker. The whole issue with him and Draymond Green going at each other, and now he's going at LeBron James. When before the series started, he said he would like to play against LeBron James. He wanted to, and now he has a chance, and he's staring him down, and they're going after each other. That series is tied one game apiece. Going back to LA, they just switched home court. Now they have 2 at home. Can the Lakers upset Memphis?
Yes, they can. Any LeBron, I'm with any LeBron James team. I mean, with LeBron James on your team, and if AD is playing lights out, they could definitely beat Memphis. But I am liking this Hill thing with Dylan Brooks. I'm liking it. It reminds one of my favorite wrestlers is Triple H, and Triple H played the Hill to perfection. You just like, I remember one time one of my homeboys' friends, one of my homeboys, his mom said, "Oh, I hate Triple H." I was like, "Well, he's doing his job." They're like, both they hate him. They hate Dylan Brooks doing his job.
Right.
I just want Dylan Brooks to toe the line and not get dirty. Just toe the line. Now, can he stop LeBron? I don't think so.
Right. And I'm gonna switch to another team because one player does go overboard and toe that line is Grayson Allen with Milwaukee. He is a true heel in the sense.
Did he play for Duke?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He played for Duke, so we already know that energy. And they beat Miami 138-122.
Ooh,
that
was a
series
high-scoring
is
game.
tied 1 game apiece. But the main issue is, when is Giannis Antetokounmpo coming back with a bad back? He's also day to day.
Is it lower back or?
I think it's lower back.
Lower.
Remember, he had fell awkwardly on a play, and it looked like it was just getting tightened up on him.
Okay.
And every single season, I would say this past 3-4 seasons, superstars get hurt in the playoffs, and we know every player's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Every player's hurt.
Nobody's
There's
100% in
no
the
one's
playoffs.
100%. No one can complain or whatnot. But when you have your top players in the league getting injured, getting hurt, I mean, that was the whole excuse that last season, the reason why Golden State won the championship, because all these players were hurt and they went through, and that's just the way that the chip falls, and everything like that. But it's very strange, peculiar that this goes down like the way it does. But you still gotta play the games, right? And that series, I'm expecting the Bucks to beat Miami. I think they have more firepower,
Yeah.
better defense, and then also on Miami's side, Tyler Hero, he's out.
out.
Yes, he's
Okay.
out.
Okay.
Possibly, let's say if the Heat make a run to the finals, he could possibly play in the NBA Finals
Oh, that's
with
how long
the
he'll be
broken
out.
hand. Yes, yes,
Okay.
he had broke his hand. It was kind of a few plays after that. The Giannis injury. So, kind of a weird situation.
Okay.
Going to the Celtics series. Celtics are up 2-0 against Atlanta. That most likely should be a sweep.
It should be a sweep, yeah.
Then you have Cleveland and the Knicks. Cleveland beat the Knicks 107-90. That series is tied 1 game apiece.
That's an interesting series. I like that series actually.
Yes, mainly
to go
because
seven.
of the Donovan Mitchell situation. Remember in the off season,
Mm-hmm.
the Knicks were going after Donovan Mitchell
He should be in
from
there.
Utah, and out the blue, Cleveland ends up grabbing him, and
Well,
Knicks fans, including myself, was up in arms and upset, but the team stayed together, and a lot of these young players stepped up, and now with the team they have with Jalen Brunson, who's became an all-star, and then you add Josh Hart, who was his teammate at Villanova,
Nova.
right? And they made a big second half run to get the 5th seed. So that series is going back to Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a crazy scene there.
Spike Lee courtside.
He's courtside everywhere. He was
Yeah.
courtside in Cleveland. I
Yeah.
think I seen courtside in LA one time. So he's always over the
Super
place,
fan.
all over the place,
Super
right?
fan.
And that place is going to be rocking.
Mhm.
I could see that series going 7 games.
Oh, it's going 7.
It,
Go on, Seth.
those first 2 games were well, the first game was a great game. The second game was a blowout, but I can see they possibly splitting in Madison Square Garden because
Oh, I can see that.
of Donovan Mitchell. He's a superstar.
Oh, yeah.
He can really fill it up, and right now the Warriors and Kings just tipped off.
Okay.
So they definitely going to keep an eye on that game as well. But the NBA playoffs going to be very exciting. Only problem is I just hope that these players that are injured come back and are healthy for the rest of the season, for the rest of the playoffs,
Of course.
including the finals, because we do not want to see a team win the championship and then all of a sudden fans and people talk, oh, well, they wouldn't have won if this team would have been healthy, or if that team would have been healthy. They wouldn't have went all the way. It's like, come on
That's
now.
what they say about Toronto a couple years ago.
Exactly.
Healthy KD, healthy,
Mhm.
what's his name, Thompson, they wouldn't have won.
Right.
I mean, they said the same thing about Golden State when they won their first one. They said if Cleveland would have
Exactly.
been 100%, or if Memphis would have been 100%.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you never want
And
that.
speaking of Memphis, Ja Morant is also injured with a hand injury. So it's always it's something with Memphis, but Memphis with him out, they're a winning team. They're way above 500 with him out. I think last season they were like 9-2 with him injured.
Yeah.
You know, during the regular season, and they
They
did
were better
win.
on defense as well.
Right. That is true. But surprisingly, the only team right now who is not injured is the Phoenix Suns.
No
The
excuses.
Phoenix Suns right now are basically, 100% healthy with everybody on the floor. Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, who throughout this whole season, even before Kevin Durant was a Sun, they were injured throughout the whole season. Devin Booker most of the season, Chris Paul on and off. I think DeAndre Ayton had a few games out. And then the major trade with Kevin Durant coming in, they was undefeated with him in the lineup. Then they finally lose one game to the Clippers. So we definitely gonna see how this plays out. Like I said, Game 3, which is in LA, is coming up later on. So we're gonna be right here talking about NBA playoffs and more. So keep it locked right here. We're gonna be right back with more Keep It 1 Million Show.
Hey fellas, this is me on YouTube Live with the show. So come on, check it out.
Yo, fellas, what's the deal, man? Yo, we talked. Yo, that BTB. Yo, that BTB.
All right, we're back.
Yes, sir.
Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
Got Sean with me, and some great news. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin has been cleared to resume football activities.
Yes,
This past
yes,
week,
yes.
remember that horrific play that he ended in cardiac arrest
Yeah.
back on January 2nd. They say the diagnosis was comedo cordis, and it can occur when severe trauma to the chest disrupts the heart's electrical charge and causes dangerous fibroitis. Quote, I died on national TV in front of the whole world. I lost a bunch of people. I lost a bunch of people in my life. I know a bunch of people who lost people in their lives. I know that feeling. That right there is the biggest blessing of all. For me, to still have my people, and my people still have me. He has been at the Bills practice facility participating in voluntary off-season workouts this week. So, congratulations, Damar Hamlin.
Yes.
We'll see if he is going to be on the team on the field this next season. And we all thought the worst, that he would never play again. I really personally wouldn't recommend that because of the whole issues of that with your heart, and we know, players and everything that has gone through things of that nature. But hey, if he's healthy and he wants to play, hey, go out there and do it. So congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Is something you want to add on to that?
Yeah. I don't like to see players carried off the field. I like to see the players walk off on their own, on their own accord. I know some people don't like it, but I'll bring this up. It's a long time ago. Basketball player named Nikisha Sales played for University of Connecticut. In one of the games towards the end of the season, she tore her ACL, and she was pretty much 2 points from 1,000 or 2,000 points or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they played the Big East championship game against Villanova, and they planned it. They let her make a layup, so she can get to 2,000 points, and then Villanova made a layup to tie it up. Let them make a layup to tie it up, so it could start 2-2 and everything. A lot of people had a problem with that, but I didn't, because I believe that players, you should afford great players a chance to walk off the court and not be carried off the court or the field. So I don't have a problem with him coming back and ending it on his own terms. He deserves that right.
Yeah, you're right. And another player who's dealing with issues like that is Tua Tagovailoa. He had said that he contemplated retirement. That after having so many concussions this past season, that he was wondering if he was going to go on. And I think a lot of people, especially in that Miami area, was very concerned. What's he going to play again? Yeah. And if he's if he's healthy enough to play, but the thing is that head injury, and we already know what the consequences are for multiple head injuries. Mm-hmm. For Tua, we've seen him on the field the same way I would say not the same way, but similar to Damar Hamlin. Mm-hmm. On the middle of that field, season up. I mean, if something like that would happen again, would be devastating. Yeah. So for both players, I'm worried. What'll happen next season for them. The team has rallied around Tua Tagovailoa, saying that he is their guy. The Tom Brady rumors, the rumors of him being traded and all of that. The ownership dispelled those rumors and basically saying that Tua is their quarterback one. So hopefully he gets the proper training, as we talked about for months here, so he can be fully healthy and stay healthy. Damar Hamlin, the same thing. And then also with that, the NFL next season is going to start with these new helmets that can absorb better absorption for concussions. You know,
Okay.
so that's going to be a great step forward in NFL as far as, you know, player safety is concerned, because you don't want your star players out. Just like in NBA, I mean, there's a big difference. NBA players injured, NFL players injured, but you don't want, no matter what sport, you don't want your superstar players out.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So hopefully they can both stay healthy for next season.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of next season, the NFL draft is next week on the 27th. And there's been all kinds of reports about C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. You know, you have Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
People are talking like he's going to be the guy.
Okay.
And, you know, Panthers GM are talking about, you know, this guy is mature beyond his years and everything of that nature. But for some reason, when it comes to C.J. Stroud, it's the opposite. We've seen these so-called reports. I don't like them calling they're real reports. These so-called reports from analysts. One of the analysts is Brady Quinn, ex-quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And there's he comes out on the podcast talking about how C.J. Stroud ghosted the Manning camp. Now, if you know, the Manning quarterback camp is this, you know, Manning Passing Academy is this, you know, elite passing academy for up-and-coming quarterbacks going into the league. And how Brady Quinn put it was that he was invited to the Manning camp and he blew them off. This was on a CBS Pick Six podcast, and he's basically saying that, you know, this is not how you conduct yourself around the Manning family. This is not how you're supposed to be a franchise quarterback, and, you know, questioning his work ethic. And then, you know, other NFL analysts around the media came to C.J. Stroud's defense, namely Ryan Clark from ESPN, who basically saying he did his research and he talked to C.J. Stroud, and he said that C.J. Stroud was saying that he would rather, at that time, was rather wanted to play with his teammates and practice with his teammates versus going to the Manning camp. So he didn't blow them off. He wasn't even committed to attend the Manning camp. And basically, Brady Quinn was going off of gossip and hearsay. And that's not how you do not just NFL journalism or sports journalism, but any journalism at that. You know, you're supposed to at least have 3 to 4 sources, and if they're all talking and going in the same direction, then you go with that lead, that story. Brady Quinn is just going off of what someone else said and then trying to push this narrative that C.J. Stroud is some quarterback or some kid who doesn't have good work ethic, who will just blow somebody off, or, you know, and then, you know, to say, oh, the Manning family is football royalty. How do you do that to them? It's kind of disingenuous, very disingenuous, especially if you don't know the whole story. I mean, Sean, how do you feel about this situation?
Brady Quinn could have easily just said it like this. C.J. Stroud allegedly didn't make the Manning camp. I would have loved to have seen him there. That is quarterback royalty. It would have been great to see a young quarterback there. I would love to know the reason why he didn't make it there. Boom. That's it. He didn't have to go into work ethic. He didn't have to do all of that. He really didn't. Because what Brady Quinn has to understand is when you say work ethic towards a black quarterback, the red flags go up, and people are like, oh, they make it seem like he's this lazy kid or and this and everything.
I'll keep going. I'll show it to you in a minute.
And Brady Quinn needs to be real careful. Now, am I mad at Quinn? No. Made a mistake. Let's not make it again. Should Ryan Clark have went in on him? Sure. I mean, Ryan Clark goes in on a lot of people, and I have my issues with Ryan Clark sometimes too. Yeah, I believe he tries to play this tough guy thing a little too close to the chest, and everything. So I would like to see him calm that down some. But that's his persona. I mean, I liked him as a player, so we'll see.
Yeah, is a problem, this narrative that, especially with black young football players coming out of college that are very, very highly touted, very, very highly ranked, and can possibly be the number 1, number 2, or number 3 pick in the draft. This has been going on for years, and it seems like it's always 2 weeks before or a week before the draft that some analyst, quote unquote, will just come out of the woodwork and say some allegation about a player. His work ethic, his commitment, his off the field problems, things of that nature. And then there's others where, okay, that's rightfully so. They get arrested or they get, they get in trouble, or they end up getting kicked out of the, school. They end up, from a top pick to whatever. And there is those situations, but when you have players that are on the straight and narrow, doing what they're supposed to do, being leaders of their respective teams, and then, some guy who wants likes and clicks and more ratings just says something, unfounded, like what Brady Quinn did, is kind of, it's on a borderline racial thing, because we see it every single year. Could be from some local DJ, some local analyst that goes viral talking crazy about a player, to someone like a national, a personality that makes this, some wild claim that everyone breaks down that's not true. So it's very disappointing that this goes on every single. I think last year Chris Sims said something crazy about a black quarterback or something, a few years ago, that people didn't like, and others.
I can't remember who it was, but yeah.
You remember what I'm saying? And the picture I was going to show you is, the Cardinals just brought out their new jerseys, and I'm sorry, I'm not a Cardinals fan, but these jerseys look like college jerseys. They look like college jerseys. I mean, it's University of Oklahoma Cardinals. I mean, what are we doing here? That's not. What do you think, man?
There wasn't nothing wrong with the old ones.
I mean, I don't know. Well, the Cardinals just came out with some new jerseys, and they, right? They they remind me when the Commanders came out with their new jerseys.
Yeah. And
I was like, And then they came out with that black and yellow. I'm like, they just stole from the Steelers. What are y'all doing? This black and yellow. What is that?
Just stick with the red.
I mean, it's kind of that Arizona Diamondbacks, that red. It's kind of like that, but it's all red, then an all white with the white pants, then an all black with the black pants and a red lettering, and the other ones are white. Are those the only 3 jerseys you're gonna have? It's Nike. What are y'all doing? You should have like 5 or 6, right? I don't know. And it looks collegey. It doesn't look NFL. Like there's a difference there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm a Jersey guy. Like I like I'm not Jersey like I'm from Jersey, but I like jerseys. I like breaking down jerseys, and that was like, right, that's a real like.
Okay.
Are you gonna pay $120 for that jersey?
Oh no.
Right, exactly.
$120.
And then the authentics are like damn near 200.
Yeah,
No,
Well,
no.
Yeah.
not some plain. That was a plain jersey,
Yeah. Yeah.
like very plain Jane. I didn't like that. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna come back. We're gonna go back into the NBA playoffs and update some scores, and then we're gonna get into possibly the fight of the year: Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia,
Possibly.
and they've been going back and forth. We're gonna get into that, so keep it locked right here on the Keep It 1 Million show.
How long is this break? How long is this break?
All right, we're back. Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean
I got Sean with me, and it is 29-20. End of the first quarter. Golden State over Sacramento Kings. We'll get some stats here. For Golden State, you have Thompson and Wiggins with 6 points. And those are your leaders for them. And you have Fox Sabonis with 4 points. Very early in the first quarter, end of the first quarter.
Okay.
And then, like I said, the next game is the Suns-Clippers game. After that, in LA. If Sacramento wins this game, you think they can sweep?
No. If they win this game, I believe that Golden State will win Game 4, and then Sacramento they'll end it at home.
Okay, you like the gentleman sweep. You don't want any sweeps of any series.
No, it's not that. It's just that Golden State's the champ, and I can't see them getting swept, especially with Draymond coming back for Game 4. I just can't see that. I just can't see that happening. I would be very surprised if they got swept on their home court, defending champions. I'd be very surprised.
If they lose this series, what happens to Golden State after this? Because there's all kinds of rumors, alleged rumors about how some of these young players are upset about not having enough minutes. You have the Draymond Green situation where there's rumors that the front office is not happy with Draymond Green, all the way back to the punch with Jordan Poole. and then now you see in the playoffs what's going on with him. I'm going to put it out there. Do you think the management will blow up that team?
I believe everybody is expendable except for Steph Curry. The only person that's not expendable, even Klay Thompson, is expendable.
Yeah.
So I can see them blowing the team up. To me, blowing the team up is letting Green go, letting Klay go. And to me, that's blowing the team up. Letting those pieces go, and then putting more younger pieces around Steph. So I can see them doing that. And Draymond only has a year or two left for his contract?
I think this is his last year. He
'Cause
may be a free agent after this
Yeah, because there's
season.
some rumblings. They're saying that Lakers might be in his future. Just been some rumblings I've been reading. Some rumblings, rumors, nothing concrete.
I don't know, but I always wanted to see at least those three, Draymond, Steph, and Klay, stay together.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Retire together, have those statues in front of that building,
Oh, yeah.
got them 4 championships, but how it's playing out, and this is what makes it even worse, is because, like you said, maybe have young players around Steph Curry.
Mhm.
They have young players already.
Yeah, they do.
Kuminga, Poole, Gary Payton, Wiggins. They have nice young pieces, but if they're upset about not playing, maybe 1, maybe 2 of them would want to go. They want to get traded. They want to, try another spot where they get more minutes and start, right? You don't want that. So you're going to have to look at Klay Thompson or Draymond to be shipped out of there. Everyone talks about Klay Thompson going to L.A. I can see the possibility of Draymond going to L.A. The Lakers. Remember his dad.
Yeah, his dad was the Lakers. Yeah.
Right, and he's an analyst with the Lakers now. Draymond, ties with LeBron James. So those both could be in play. Not both of them. I'm thinking one or the other may be gone. And then Damian Lillard's situation. With Damian Lillard, he's obviously not happy with the management in Portland. He was at the Philly game, the Philly-Brooklyn game. I guess he lives out in Brooklyn. And I think he wants the Portland to swing big, get some big fish for him to stay. If not, I'm thinking he's gone. He requests a trade, and we all know he's loyal to his soil. He may want to go to Golden State.
Oh yeah.
He may want. He's from Oakland. He's from there. So, and I'm gonna talk about that next hour about Oakland. Speaking of, but it really looks like if they lose to their, over the bridge rivals. Not even rivals, they're over the bridge foes. I mean, I wouldn't call it even that because they haven't been like this ever. I don't think this ever has happened in the playoffs where, Golden State played against Sacramento. So you get ousted by this up and coming team, and yeah, it could be blown up. I expect one major player gone after this season. Moving on to the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight.
Oh yeah.
Both undefeated.
Always got to go.
And it is Saturday, April 22nd on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The first major fight of the year. You got possibly other fights coming up.
Yeah,
Hanley, Lomachenko.
yeah. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Right. Now, this fight, they've talked about betting their purse against each other, and that was dispelled. The stare down was entertaining, and them talking mess to each other. How do you see this fight playing out?
I got Tank Davis stoppage in the 7th. I'll stop him in the 7th. I believe Tank has the power and the skill to beat Ryan Garcia. Now, I will say this: Ryan Garcia does have a chance, but I don't believe he has enough power and enough skill to take Tank out.
Tank has major punching power.
Oh my goodness! They call him a miniature Mike Tyson.
Right. Ryan Garcia does have a lot of speed.
Oh yeah.
And he has knockout power as well, but not like Tank.
I like Tank.
But I would think Tank would win this fight. They both are predicting knockouts for obvious reasons because they're both knockout artists.
It's going to be a stoppage or a knockout.
What we need out of this fight is excitement. We need a major. It could be a major upset. It could be Garcia. It could be Tank just dominating in the first 2-3 rounds. But we need, for boxing fans, a very, very exciting match to the point where you want a rematch. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you want boxing to come back, and if you want the fighters to say, you know what, forget my affiliation, forget, the promotion deal and whatnot, and let me just fight the best fighters. We need a once in 5 year fight. This fight right here. Really, excuse me, it has to be.
Yeah.
Because if this fight is a dud, and it happens, we have two big names come out and just stink up the joint, and it's like, oh my God. There's a few Mayweather fights that you're like, yo, it's, he's pitching a shutout, but it's a snoozer. He's winning every single round by, and this fight cannot happen. It cannot be. This has to be a slugfest. This has to be a classic, an instant classic, because moving forward, we need other boxers to look at this fight and be like, hey, you know what? We got to put those type of fights together.
Yeah, it got to be like that first Luis Castillo Diego Corrales fight. That one. Or that first Mickey Ward Arturo Gatti.
That's the fight I was thinking of.
That one.
Ward Gatti.
Woo.
All three fight. The third fight was like, okay, we get it. Ward's just a better fighter, but the first two, or was it Gotti who won?
Gotti won the trilogy, yeah.
Right, but those first two fights are classics, and they were on ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN.
They're on regular television. It's like, oh my God, what is this? Like, amazing. Like, it looked like a movie.
I'm telling you, I remember that fight like it was just. I remember Mickey Ward hit Gatti with that left hook to the body that he was always trying to land. And Gatti went down. It was like he was hurt. He got back up, and he was hurt. He got back up and kept fighting through. And he didn't win that round because he got knocked down, but he fought through it. I'm like, yo, these dudes are warriors.
Yeah. Amazing fights. This fight has to be that. And like I said, it has to be that to where you get Crawford wanting to fight, Spence or one of these top fighters. It's like, okay, let's forget the contracts. Let's just go out here and make a fight and make the most money we can.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's always about the bag, but I think the issue is these promoters have stuck with these deals, whereas network deals, now you have a network behind the promoter.
Yeah.
DAZN, ESPN, was it Showtime, Showbox and CBS, and it's like, are y'all fighters? Are y'all network fighters? Are y'all corporate fighters? What's going on here? Because the fans are missing out on great fights. And I think this one has to set that tone. It has to set the tone to where other fighters aren't scared. And I don't want to say scared, but they're not, apprehensive of trying to put the best fight possible instead of just putting, okay, well, let me just fight, my manual contender. And then you fight 5 of those in a row because they're in your same, they're run by the same promoter. And it's like, okay, well, you're not going to unify the belts. You know what I mean? We have, German Charo and all these fighters out here who are great fighters, and they're not even fighting each other.
Yeah, gone are the days where the golden age of boxing, you had the best fighters fighting. Like, for example, you had Hearns fighting Sugar Ray, Sugar Ray fighting Roberto Duran, Hearns fighting Roberto Duran.
Right.
You had all those fighters fighting each other. Gone are those days. Alexis Arguello fighting Aaron Pryor.
Yeah.
Gone are those days where the guys would move up and collect titles. The last fighter to really do that was Bernard Hopkins when he had all 4 of the middleweight titles.
Not just Bernard Hopkins, but Manny Pacquiao.
No, Manny Pacquiao.
He came from Andre Ward.
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao came from a featherweight and went all the way to welterweight. And he's a Hall of Famer. He's trying to come back, but yeah, yeah. But you're right. Gone are those days. You look at the, Canelo Alvarez. He has his belts, but there's fighters that he won't fight. Again, like
the guy that beat him, I was thinking.
Right, Bivol. And then you have Benavidez, right? We just saw him win. He calls out Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah,
he's like, I won Alvarez.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And will we ever see that fight? Because Benavidez, who's from Phoenix, Arizona, he's a dangerous fighter, just like Bivol, very dangerous. And we know Canelo Alvarez is days in. He's gonna stay with that. But will he actually take a fight like that of a Benavidez, a younger, more hungrier fighter, kind of the same way he took the Mayweather fight? Right? He was a younger, hungrier fighter. Say, hey, let me go against the best of the best. He did lose, but he saw his litmus test right there, and now he's the number 1 dog. Because of where he was at. So will he give someone like a Benavidez or someone else that shot? Which, Bivol beat him, but Bivol was already there. But will he give someone younger that type of shot?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. Canelo will have to answer that question, but it doesn't look like it. And like I said, you know what? You can say what you want about Dana White, and you can say what you want about the UFC, but Dana White gives you the fight. The UFC gives you the fights that you want to see, and that's because Dana White's the only promoter. I get that, but they give you the fights you want to see, and of course people are going to come out and say, oh, well, he doesn't pay the fighters and this and that, but you still get the fights you want to see.
And there's other ways that these fighters can get paid, endorsement deals and everything in that.
Kinds of stuff
so,
like that,
the money's neither here nor there. You're absolutely right. But boxing, UFC is one entity. UFC, there's different leagues, but UFC is the top dog league, and Dana White is the commissioner, the promoter, the CEO of it. And speaking of that, I just seen that the parent company of UFC just bought WWE for $6 billion.
What?
Yes, this happened a couple of weeks ago. You can look it up. It happened around right after WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania was in Hollywood, I believe. Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
They haven't came up with like a official name of it, but they're about to merge both leagues.
But WWE and UFC.
The parent company just bought WWE for $6 billion.
So Vince sold it. Well,
Yes, Vince. Yeah, the big man's. They say he bought when it was WWF for like less than $1 million, something crazy.
Yeah, I think didn't his dad own it before? Or
Right,
something like
right,
that?
yeah, something like that. Right,
Yeah.
but it was like it had to be less than $1 million.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing that happened with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that in the next hour because there's another person who just upped the ante for $7 billion. So that's still going on, and then
Oh, the Commanders thing is still going on?
right.
Oh, I thought they already. Oh, okay.
Someone else came out and wants to purchase it for $7 billion.
Ooh, okay.
But Daniel Snyder, he bought a team for I'm thinking a few $100,000 or something unbelievably, you know what I mean?
More than that.
But you're absolutely right. When it comes to UFC versus boxing, there is a where you get the top fighters fighting against each other. We need to see that in boxing. Jamel Charlo, I seen he has all those middleweight belts, and who wants to fight him? Any top fighter wants to fight Charlo? I mean, did you say it was Alvarez or somebody else? I don't see anyone wanting to fight him.
What I would like to see is Bud Crawford and Spence get it on. Bud Crawford beat Spence, move up, and fight Little Charlo, beat up Little Charlo. That's what I would like to see. Now, Big Charlo, something else, because it doesn't look like anybody. I mean, I need to. Man, I haven't paid attention to middleweights in a while, so I need to look to see who he got there. But
Okay, well, we gotta go.
yeah.
We gotta go to the next hour. Keep it locked right here. Keep 1 Million Show.
All right, this the long one, right? Like 5-8 minutes or something. This the long break, right?
Yes, because we're gonna be switching hours.
Broadcasting from the Phoenix Center for the Arts, you're tuned to KRDP Jazz and Indie, where the Valley comes to talk, sing, connect. KRDP Apache Junction, Goldfield Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley, and online at Listen, the number 2, KRDP.com, a service of Desert Soul Media.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
This week on the
Yeah, I gotta I didn't change this, so it's how last week's show was. It's on there. So yeah, I gotta figure out. That's why I wanted Tasha to help me. 'Cause I forgot all about. We had last week's show on there.
Okay.
Remember we didn't do last week's
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
So.
yeah. All right, go.
Oh, okay.
What up, YouTube Live? What's
Hey,
poppin'?
thanks everybody for watching. Thank y'all for watching.
Yes, sir. Can you see comments on that?
No, this is off another app.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's recording, but I guess it's on
all right.
that app. I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask him what app this is.
I forget. He just said we was talking about it.
Yeah. I know he said it, but. Man, all the cameras in here freak me out, man.
What's that?
All the cameras in here freak me
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Man. It's like Big Brother's watching. At my job, they got cameras.
Hey, thanks for watching. Right. Oh, she's seeing my neighborhood. I was just figuring, I was walking down the street and I just seen all this all new stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
Water.
TV talk, man. What's up?
We here, you got something to drink?
No, I'll take that one because
Yeah, but I just seen in my neighborhood, 'cause my neighborhood has a bunch of a bunch of homeless, and a lot of smokers around, right? So you have, you have the city lights.
Mm-hmm.
So usually they're like orange, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I seen one light that was like purple, like a dark purple. I'm like, what the hell? I'm looking at it and I see next to the pole is a damn camera. I'm like, oh snap! This is right across from this church, right across the street from this church, and the church is always homeless people around there. I'm like, oh snap! When did they put that up? And then down the street, further down like a couple blocks, there's another purple light. And I'm like, when did they put this? They must have put these just up.
Yeah, man. They got some young cameras. You really can't do much now.
Yeah, I'm like, they must have just put these up.
And I'm for it and not for it. I get it because they do help. If something pop over, they can look at cameras to see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
And then like all of a sudden, I swear to God, at least either twice or 3 times a week, the damn ghetto birds flying around.
oh yeah.
Yeah, at least 3 times a week. I seen them last night. I was like, again, like what the hell's going on? And they'll fly around and then leave. Yeah.
I was just listening
Crazy.
to that. I was just listening to that song "Ghetto Bird" by Ice Cube.
Oh, yeah. What time is it? Or you're going to come on after this. Like 40 seconds, 30 seconds. All right, we're back. Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne,
Sean P.
and we're going to be getting into the NBA playoffs, which is live right now.
Yep.
You have the 76ers. They just beat the Brooklyn Nets. And Golden State Warriors are playing Sacramento Kings. They're up by 10, 45-35. The Suns and Clippers are just about to end the first quarter. They're tied at 23. And Philly beat Brooklyn 102-97, where Joel Embiid had kicked Miguel Bridges, and I'm wondering if he's going to get fined or suspended because of that. He did get a flagrant. Most likely, probably get fined. They have to do something because of the what happened with the Golden State game with Draymond Green getting suspended for his stomp of Sabonis.
Yeah.
And Golden State right now is up 10. We just talked about what would happen if Sacramento wins this series.
Yeah.
They sweep them or they just win it, win it outright. What happens with Golden State? Who would they let go? Who would they keep? Because yeah, they won the championship last season, and it seems to me like right now there's some some issues of continuity. You know, they're basically the worst team in NBA history on the road. I really think one of these players, either Draymond or Klay Thompson, is going to have to go. What do you think?
Yeah, one of them, like I said before, last hour, everybody's expendable except Steph. So one of them's got to go, and I can see it being Draymond. I can see it being him, and they'll keep Klay. They'll figure it out after that, and Draymond will go to the Lakers or whoever.
Right. Definitely going to monitor that throughout the hour. Now, this next story I want to get into is the Washington Commanders. As we know, there's a bid. Thought that it was it was going to go through for $6 billion from a group that included Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
But now there's another bid from a guy, Brian Davis, for $7 billion.
Okay.
And yeah, he's ex-Duke basketball player. You know, he's if I'm not mistaken, he's a black man who was in tech. That you know, that's where he amassed his money but very interesting to see that more people are trying to go after the Washington Commanders.
This is interesting.
He's a DC native. Right. And this will make him the first NFL's first black owner in
Now,
history.
do they have to go with the highest bidder, or can Snyder sell to whomever he wanted?
That I'm not sure. That one I'm not sure. But I mean, there was a rumor that he would not sell to Jeff Bezos. If Jeff Bezos would, you know, bid, and there was rumors that he was going to bid on them. You know, he's Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world. I think at roughly $250 billion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up, see what the issue is with Bezos.
Right. You know, they're trying to say that Daniel Snyder was trolling him and all this, you know, things of that nature. Kind of it's a weird situation with this whole Commanders potential sale and how it's going about. But anybody who is selling something, you're gonna go with the person that's gonna buy it for more money than the last person that's actually trying to buy it. So, you know, the group with Magic Johnson wants $6 billion, buy it for $6 billion. This man wants to buy it for $7 billion. So we'll see how it happens, how it works out. Hopefully, it works out before the season starts.
Yeah, that would be nice, so everybody can know what the job situation is going to be, coaches and I'm about to say admin,
the GM and the front office and whatnot.
Front office. Yeah.
Yeah. In other news, you know, Aaron Rodgers news. There's another team that may come out. Now, this is kind of ironic because this team was possibly the first team that people were thinking he was going to go to, which is the Tennessee Titans. They're saying if this deal doesn't go through with the Jets, that the Tennessee Titans have been talking to Green Bay about a possible trade. Now, the reason why I say this is ironic is because at the end of last season, or 2 seasons ago, that Aaron Rodgers had bought property in the Tennessee area. I think it was in Nashville. and that immediately everybody had their eyes open. Like, oh, wait a minute, is he thinking about moving, to Tennessee and going to possibly with the Titans? And this is when Tannehill was, basically everyone's talking about if Tannehill was going to be traded or whatnot. They had just lost the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So now you have, a rookie Malik Willis there. Everyone knows that Tannehill most likely won't be back.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I would say, a rumor that is more than 50%. What do you think about that?
I thought New York was a better landing place. They had a really good team, good offense, good defense. They had weapons. All he had to do was play well to possibly get them over the hump. I wanted to see him go to the New York Jets, but Tennessee sounds good, but I don't know if he's gonna win down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Down there. So
Right.
We'll see.
Right, and this whole Jets Green Bay thing is so. I'm so tired of it now because they could have got this deal done
Like a month
a
ago.
long time ago. They could have, but Green Bay wants their number one pick, and the Jets aren't willing to give it up. Which is that 13th overall pick
Yeah, 13.
in the draft. And it seems that's the only thing that's slowing this thing down, which means another team can possibly scoop him up if they have a number one pick that Green Bay wants, because it seems like they want a number one pick for him. I don't think he's worth a number one pick. Is Aaron Rodgers worth a number one pick right now?
I wouldn't give up a number one pick for him. Especially number 13, you can leverage that pick to somebody. You can actually trade that pick to a team for a player or whatever. So very valuable pick.
Very valuable pick, and there's possible of movement going on in the draft, trades going on in the draft. I mean, you see now. I think it was the Bears moved out of that top pick and got a wide receiver. You know what I mean? So from the Carolina Panthers. So they have the number one pick now, and we're definitely going in depth next week for the NFL draft, as we do every single year. So excuse me. So next story we're going to get into is this is very interesting. We've been talking about this for a few years now with the Brett Favre situation. There's someone else that is involved in it. It is the son of pro wrestler Ted DiBiase.
Oh yeah.
Ted DiBiase Jr. is involved in this whole scheme down in Mississippi, and it says that Ted DiBiase Jr., son of Ted DiBiase Sr., aka the $1 Million Man, reportedly funneled millions of dollars from two charity organizations who received money from the Emergency Food Assistance Program and the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families effort. DiBiase Jr. received the money via two businesses he had set up, and he bought a boat, a car, and put a down payment on a house. This is back in 2020. Federal government attempted to seize DiBiase Jr.'s Madison, Mississippi home after he was suspected to be part of the welfare scandal. This is the same scandal that involved Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre. The state of Mississippi is investigating individuals who funneled away $77 million from programs intended to help families in need. Favre has not been charged with a crime, but is named in the state's lawsuit for directing money to the volleyball program of his alma mater, among other activities. He has paid back $1.1 million he received for speaking engagement and wants his name removed from the lawsuit. Now, DiBiase Jr. has 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of money laundering, and 2 counts of theft concerning programs receiving federal funds. He could face up to 120 years in prison if he's found guilty on all counts. The other charges carry up to 65 years. Here's what's crazy. If someone as, not as famous as DiBiase Jr., which I haven't heard that name since the 80s,
The $1 Million Dream.
or the early 90s or whatnot. How is this Brett Favre skating when this guy can possibly get up to 100 years in prison?
Man.
Like, what pictures does does he have pictures on somebody? Who is he blackmailing to not even get charged with one crime when everybody knows there's literally evidence, text messages, emails, all types, testimony, and he's still skating?
Hey man, I did read about it when I was reading about this when it first came out. I did see his name in the papers and everything, but you're right, people really wasn't talking noise about him. But this is a real nasty situation for both parties, for everybody involved. It's real nasty, and somebody needs to speak out on this.
Man, I don't know what's going on in Mississippi,
Yeah,
but y'all got to get it together.
Yeah, first the water go bad, now this.
Man, but we'll be back with more Keep It 1 Million show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get tired.
Man, that's crazy, man. All that money, sheesh. They stealing all that money from them people, man.
Crazy. 70
Ridiculous, man.
Yep.
It remind me of an episode of Law and Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the guy was accused of stealing the pension from the workers, and they found him at the end of the episode. They found him shot dead in the trunk. And,
Oh, wow.
And the cops was like, well, who do you think did it? He said, it could be anybody, any thousands of workers.
Uh-huh.
Man.
Right.
Couldn't figure out who did it.
And we're back. Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean B.
Got Sean with me. And this next story, another story, Keep 1 Million show has been following for a few years now. When it comes to Oakland and their issues with teams. Now, this has just came out. The Oakland A's are agreeing to buy land in Las Vegas to build a stadium for the 2027 season. Oakland A's have signed a binding agreement to purchase land for a future of a new retractable roof ballpark in Las Vegas. After being unable to build a new venue in the Bay Area, team president Dave Koval said Wednesday night the team finalized a deal last week to buy a 49-acre site where the A's plan to build stadium close to Las Vegas Strip with seating capacity of 30 to 35,000. A's will work with Nevada and Clark County on a public-private partnership to fund the stadium. Wall said the A's hope to break ground by next year and hope to move in their new home by 2027. Quote, it's obviously a very big milestone for us. We spent almost 2 years working in Las Vegas to try to determine a location that would work for a long-term home. To identify a site and have a purchase agreement is a big step. A's have been looking for a new home past years to replace the outdated, rundown Oakland Coliseum where it played since arriving from Kansas City in 1968 season. They have sought to build a stadium in Fremont and San Jose before shifting their attention to the Oakland waterfront. Vegas will be the fourth home of the franchise as they started in Philadelphia as the Philadelphia Athletics from 1901 to 1954.
Johnny Mac.
We're turning our full attention to Las Vegas. We were on parallel paths before, but we're focusing on Las Vegas and our path to find a future home for the A's. Commissioner Robert Manfred said in December the A's would not have to pay a relocation fee if the team moved to Las Vegas. We're past any reasonable timeline for the situation in Oakland to be resolved. I'm going to stop right there because what he just said right there is very interesting. Because no matter what league, no matter what team, if they want to relocate, there's a relocation fee of however, you know what I mean, millions, a percentage or whatever, right? And that's dispersed between, you know, all of the owners. For them to waive a relocation fee is telling because this is basically a slap in the face to the Oakland government and how they fought against the A's for a new stadium for at least over a decade. This stadium's been outdated for 20, 30 years. And if you hear any stories about that Coliseum, when the Raiders were there, I mean, they said it was horrible. There were pipes bursting in the bathrooms, and this is while games are being played. The field is horrible. I mean, it looks like just dirt on concrete, and then and then grass over that. That stadium needs to be demolished. It should have been demolished 10 years ago. And for Oakland to now lose 3 teams in less than 10 years, it's very telling. I mean, I feel sorry for the diehard fans, but they know that this was coming.
3 teams? Or they
Well, the
Golden State.
moved to San Francisco.
I just thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors was in Oakland.
Yeah, they were in Oakland. Yeah, they was. I can't remember.
I don't remember the name of the stadium, but
yeah, they were there. And then they lost the Raiders.
they lost the Raiders twice. Remember, the
Yeah,
Raiders
they
in
went to
Oakland,
LA.
went to LA,
Came back to Oakland.
went back to Oakland,
Then
now they're in Vegas.
And then now the A's. So Oakland's about to not have a team. Not have a team. But is the Golden State Warriors moving out of Oakland to San Francisco really them moving? They just moved across the bay, really. They're really moving.
That's true, but still, the price. You know what I mean? The disparity of the wage gap is so wide from Oakland to San Francisco that you know you have diehard fans that that now can't even watch the games, let alone buy season tickets.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult situation. You know, I feel bad for Oakland fans, but at the same time, this is what happens when you have your government officials who don't want to pay for a new stadium.
Yeah.
And this issue possibly could happen here with the Diamondbacks. Now
Yeah.
they did do remodeling, they did do renovations on that stadium. That's a very old stadium as well.
Yeah, I never thought this stadium was that bad. I've been there.
Yeah, I have, but I mean, there's other things behind the scenes that are not taken care of. But a few years ago, it could have happened to where the Diamondbacks, the owners of the Diamondbacks, were talking about moving the team somewhere. I think Vegas was one of the destinations, or moving the team to Tempe or somewhere else.
Just moving them across town.
Right, or just like how the Coyotes have moved out of Glendale. Now they're going to be in Tempe.
Okay.
And the thing is because of the people do not want to pay for a stadium where you have a billionaire 10 times over who wants to use government funds or taxpayer money to fund the stadium. And for both sides, you can see the issue with both sides, but at the same time, if you want a team, you have to pay.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. And
You just have to.
yeah. And speaking of baseball, you have right now, I think the Yankees have beat the the Angels a few times. They're in a series, and Shohei Ohtani, who right now is the best player in baseball, behind with Aaron Judge and his teammate Mike Trout and others right behind him. But there's rumors that if they're not in contention, at least for a playoff spot, he can he's gonna probably demand a trade, and that's this season.
Who's that on Ohtani?
Yeah, for Shohei Ohtani may demand a trade, or at the end of the season, obviously won't re-sign with him. I mean, you have the Mets, the Dodgers. These are teams, San Francisco Giants, the Yankees, Seattle Mariners are teams that possibly could pay, a crazy amount for Shohei Ohtani, and the bidding war could start at $500 million.
$500 million. Woo.
And
My God.
once you see the Oakland A's leaving, and then you have a team of like the Angels just as bad, and then the best player in baseball, you have that. Two of the best players in baseball, and you can't get them to the playoffs? What is going on there?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know it's tough to win a championship, but who knows? Who knows what's going on? I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah. Very, very.
It's interesting though.
It's like, are you trying to win games, or just getting butts in the seats, or just sell jerseys?
Yeah.
Because that's what it seems like. What it is. They're just trying to sell jerseys now, and even that I don't think is doing well at all.
Yeah.
Because especially in LA, they're not buying Angel jerseys; they're buying Dodger jerseys.
Yeah, Dodgers and Lakers. Maybe Kings.
Right. Golden State, speaking of, is still up 55-41.
Was it third quarter?
It is the third quarter. The Suns are up 50-42.
Okay.
in the second quarter. And we're going to come back.
All right.
We're going to talk more NFL draft and get into who do you have in the Tank Davis Garcia fight. We'll be right back with more Keep It 1 Million Show.
Stay right there, y'all. You want to talk about? You said
What's that?
awards. Awards.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I kind of messed up right there.
Well, with the awards.
No, I wasn't supposed to go to break right there, but I kind of fell out of. Oh, that's what I forgot.
What's that?
The deal, Jalen Hurts deal.
Oh yeah. He got I think he got what 100.
No, wait a minute. I got it right here. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Gotta suspended year. Coach of the year. Just forgot who got defensive player of the year. Damn it, who won defensive? You look that up? Oh. Who won defensive player of the year?
Coach of the year, Mike Brown, right?
Right. And I got Brogdon got 6 man.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna get 6 man.
Forgot who got defensive player of the year, because those are the three that are out so far.
Defensive Player of the Year award, Jaren Jackson Jr.
There you go. Right. We'll call the Grizzlies. Okay. I was gonna play this out. This. Y'all wait so early.
I'm slipping. Who's Jaren Jackson play for?
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
And then, so I'm gonna say that real quick, and then we're gonna talk about the Jalen Hurts deal.
Well, so you want to talk about the awards than Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the only thing they didn't announce was MVP.
What's that?
Only thing they didn't announce MVP.
There's MVP, the new one, clutch player,
They got,
and
they
yeah,
got
a new
clutch
one.
player?
Yeah, most clutch player, and then most improved player.
Oh,
Keep 1 million show we're back. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
Sean with me, and in NBA now you have 6
Yeah,
6 awards
6.
with a new clutch player of the year award. Now 3 awards have been announced. You have Malcolm Brogdon, winner of the Sixth Man of the Year award
Yeah,
from the
everybody knew
Boston
that was
Celtics.
Everybody knew that was coming.
Coach of the Year is Mike Brown, his second
Well
Coach
deserved.
of the Year
Well deserved.
with the Sacramento Kings. And Jarrett Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
And now the last 3, clutch player, most improved, and MVP. The finalists I know off the top of my head is the MVP, which is Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic.
Oh, whatchamacallit
And
up there?
the third one, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who do you have? I don't even want to ask you that question. I already know your answer.
Well, I had tell you the truth, I had Joker last year. I had Joker
Oh, you
last
did?
Year. Yeah, but yeah, Embiid did it this year. I mean, led the league in scoring. Correct me if I'm wrong. Led the league in scoring. He is the team. He's the heart of the team. Everything goes through him. I mean, big time this year. He deserves it. He just deserves it. I don't see why he would not get this award this year. Because I can understand in previous years why he didn't. Last year, I think the Joker, he had 2,000 points, like 1,000 assists and 1,000 rebounds. Nobody had ever did that. Okay, I get that. Then the year before that, Joker again, and then the year before that, Giannis. You know, like I can kind of see the arguments those years, but this year, I don't see it. But yeah, Joel Embiid, it'll be the first time 76 won the MVP since Allen Iverson back in 2001.
Right. You have Joel Embiid, 33 points. He's your scoring champion, 33 points a game. Only one, Giannis with 31.
Yeah.
You know, he's 5th, so Jokic is not in there. Assists, Jokic was 4th with 9.8.
Yeah.
Harden
Currently leads the league in assists.
would led the league with 10 assists, which is mostly getting to Joel Embiid.
Yeah, pick and roll.
You know. And on the defensive side, Giannis is 3rd with 11 rebounds. Jokic is Giannis and Jokic is tied for 3rd with most rebounds.
Yeah.
Davis and Sabonis are the top 2 in that category. Look at blocks. You got Jarrett Jackson Jr. with 3 blocks a game.
Yeah, good blocks a game.
So, yeah, looking at the stats here, you know, I think having James Harden being the assist leader, that helps Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jokic doesn't have a player like that can get him the ball consistently. He basically is the one that does it all. You
He's
know,
like the point
he
center.
almost averaged a triple-double. Now, if he averaged a triple-double this season, like Westbrook did, you got to give it to him. I would give it to him automatically. I think that is for me, that's an automatic MVP if you average a triple-double.
Yeah, but Westbrook, I think it was 4 out of 5 years he averaged a triple double. He only won MVP one time though.
That's true because of the team he was on. But he's on a team, the number 1 team in the West, Jokic,
Okay.
right? But the thing is, he doesn't have a player like James Harden next to him, right? But
I don't know, Jamal Crawford ain't no bum.
for the sake of argument, Joel Embiid did have the most impactful games. And when they played against each other, the only knock is he didn't play that one game. They was going against each other. But, you know, when he hit that 52-point game towards the end, that kind of solidified that he's going to be the MVP of the league. Right. Against, you know, the second best team in the East.
Yeah.
With one of the top defenses, you know. So when you look at
half the Sixers' points that game.
Right. When you look at those, you know, issues, the eye test, the team aspect of it, and also, you know, his skill set and skill level. Yeah, you have to give it to Joel Embiid this year. And then, you know, Giannis 2 years in a row, Jokic 2 years in a row, Embiid, if he wins, he may can go for 2 in a row. It could happen.
Maybe.
Now moving on to a story that kind of forgot about, but I shouldn't have, because this was one of the biggest stories the past week, was Jalen Hurts' massive new 5-year deal worth $255 million. The contract extension makes him the highest paid player in NFL history. It also included $179 million in guaranteed money, with a if you know who Nicole Lynn is, that's his agent from Clutch Sports, a black woman, and he has an all-women management team, 3 women who are black on his team. He's now making $51 million a year from this deal, and I'm shocked about it because it kind of came out of nowhere. People were kind of rumored like, hey, when are they going to get the deal done? Are they going to get it done, you know, at the end of next season? That's kind of what I felt it would happen. Just coming right now, right before the draft, basically says this is our guy for the next 5 years and more. I think and more. I think he's going to have trust me, a one more contract after that.
He will.
What does this say for Lamar Jackson?
It says that you might need to get an agent, son. You might need to get yourself an agent. Get yourself somebody that could broker that deal. And it also says that you're not going to get $230 million guaranteed. You're just not. What they're telling you is that Cleveland deal with Deshaun Watson was an outlier. That's just what Cleveland did. Nobody else is going to do that. They're just not. Right. And what it says with the Eagles is they were smart. We want to get this deal done right now. We want to show him and his team respect. And we want to get it done now, so we don't go into the season with them people asking questions about it. It's a fair deal. It's a win-win for the team and the player, because they know in a few years the salary cap is going to get bumped up. So they're not going to be strapped to the salary cap with this deal. That they're going to be able to go out and get players and make it and build a championship team. You know, so
exactly.
I mean, they look. I have my beefs with Howie Roseman because he's not a great drafter. But I will say this: he knows how to work the cap. He knows how to do the contracts. He knows how to get free agents. He just can't draft to save his life. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing.
Right. And when you say, he may need an agent, I think he needs Jalen Hurts' agent.
Oh, Nicole Lynn. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
You know, he he's doing things, you know, strictly with his family, and that's commendable.
Yeah, that's cool.
And, you know, there's rumors that the deal that he did turn down was actually a $200 million guaranteed deal, which is kind of strange. I guess it was a 3-year, $133 million deal, but then it could have been a 5-year deal with $200 million in guarantees. I'm not sure if that's true or not, because that's what you see on Twitter, and then you go on the blogs and on sports media, and they're saying, well, this person, you know, the lady that put it out she's plugged in and she knows exactly, broke down the contract, and it's like, okay, that's interesting, but is it true? Now we know the Ravens did, put that out, that they offered this deal, is $133 million deal, and Lamar Jackson came out and was like, oh, that's not true, or this and that. They started with that whole back and forth on social media, but now when the rumors are talking about where he wanted Odell Beckham Jr. and DeMar Hopkins, or excuse me, DeAndre Hopkins, they go get Odell Beckham Jr., but they're saying that they may or may not can get DeAndre Hopkins. The Hopkins situation still can be on the table. Do you think they can pull this off to where Aaron Rodgers had this little list that he said he didn't have a list, but now there's coming out that Lamar Jackson had a list, and it looks like the Ravens may fill this list. Will this appease Lamar Jackson enough to sign not just this tender, this non-inclusive deal, which they should bump up to 40-something million, but have him sign a long term with them?
Talking about Lamar Jackson signing a long term?
If they get DeAndre Hopkins.
Or they get DeAndre Hopkins?
Because, there's rumors right now that, come draft time, he may get moved. He's on the trading block. The Cardinals are taking calls. They're talking to people. And he said he wants to be traded. He thinks it's time, We know what's going on with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, I don't think he want to play with old boy.
Right.
So, yeah, I believe it. I'm not gonna say for sure that Lamar Jackson will stay, but I believe it will be incentive. I mean, you got Odell Beckham Jr. and DeAndre Hopkins. I'm like, isn't enough footballs to go around? I mean,
Yeah,
man.
that's an issue there. And then on top of that, one of the main reasons that this team didn't get top receivers because their offensive style is a running style.
Yeah.
They're the top rushing offense in the league for the past 2 seasons, and rightfully so. This is their style of ball. But at the same time, you do need to throw the ball down the field. You do need to put some air up under that ball. And with having Odell Beckham, hopefully he's 100% healthy. But to get DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke on that other side, that's dangerous.
And their tight end ain't no slouch either.
Well, that's his security blanket.
Ain't no slouch.
But that's
Don't he still got J.K. Dobbins and them in the backfield with him?
right.
Nice little squad.
The thing is, he needs to stay 100% healthy. If he signs the tender, if the Ravens do everything they do to keep him and get all the players or whatever they want, whatever other list they have, and other things on that list they have, he has to stay healthy because you can't be injured in November, December, January. Because let's say all this happens, all these check marks are checked, and they up the ante and give you everything you want and more, and then come December 1st, you're out with a knee injury, you're out with an ankle, you're out with a hamstring, or you're out with whatever, tennis elbow, or you know what I mean? You stub your toe and you're out again. No, we can't see that anymore from Lamar Jackson. And everyone's trying to defend him when it comes to he's not injury prone. These are whatever. It's wear and tear. Yes, we know, but we have to see him on the field when it counts the most.
Yeah.
When you really make your money to go deep in the playoffs and to go for a championship, got to see that. And speaking of quarterbacks that are injured, you have the issue with Brock Purdy, who actually said he may be out for a whole season. But then what was weird is there's rumors that San Francisco 49ers may look at trading Trey Lance.
Oh.
Now, if you have Brock Purdy injured and you don't know when he's coming back, why would you trade Trey Lance?
I don't know.
Why would you even talk or have that come out? That you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is strange.
And Garoppolo signed with Vegas. They traded him
Yeah,
to Vegas.
he's a Vegas Raider.
Yeah. So Purdy, I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they would do that. That's kind of silly because Purdy. I mean, if Purdy was healthy, I can understand them being like, "Hey, we might want to do this, and this." But to talk about put rumors out there about Trey Lance
Mm-hmm.
and your quarterback situation, I'm sure though, wasn't too bright.
Right. I mean, this is probably the only team I've ever seen where you're the best team, but with no quarterback. Yes, Garofalo got you the Super Bowl. You're one fingertip away from winning.
Pretty much.
Then he gets injured. Then the next season you bring in a quarterback who was not ready. So he gets injured. Then you have a Mr. Irrelevant who lights it up, and then he gets injured. But you don't try to get a veteran quarterback. The whole Tom Brady rumors, the whole Aaron Rodgers rumors or whatever, and people were talking about Aaron Rodgers is still in play if the Jets, fumble the bag. But you have two very young, capable players, and Trey Young is talking about he's healthy. He wants to be a San Francisco 49er for the rest of his life. That's what he's been saying. That's what he was talking about. But then come to find out, people are throwing this out there that, they're answering phone calls for him. Maybe to move up in the draft. I'm not sure, but it's very, very strange. I mean, Kyle Shanahan's saying that it's Brock Purdy's job to lose. Right. Brock Purdy's job to lose, but now he has the elbow issue that he could be out. So what are you going to be doing coming up right now? I don't understand. You have voluntary workouts coming up. Then you're going to have OTAs after, after the draft. You got a rookie camp, OTAs. You're going to need the quarterback in there. You're going to be having the quarterback to teach these wide receivers. And Trey Lance is running with the wide receivers right now in the offseason. So I'm not sure why would they come out and say these things if it's even them. This is Lions season. People forget that. It is Lions season. Next week is the NFL draft. So I think there's going to be a lot of trades. There's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of activity come next week. April 27th through the 29th on ESPN is the NFL draft. And before we go, Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. What's your pick? Round?
I have Tank Davis stoppage, 7th round.
Okay. I also have Tank Davis on the stoppage. I would say the 5th. I want it to be exciting. I want it to be Hagler Hearns, no Moss. I need that.
Ooh, Hagler Hearns, that was 3 rounds of nothing but slugging.
Yeah, exactly. I need 5 of that. I need 5 rounds of that of Hagler Hearns with these two guys. A newer generation of classic fights. We need that in their industry. But with that being said, we're going to be out of here. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
Got Sean with me, and we're going to be back next week. NFL draft. Definitely going with that, and NBA playoffs. So please keep it locked right here on the Keep It 1 Million show.
Yes, sir.